Howdy legends, Zephyr here and welcome back to another Apex Legends Pro Guides video. One of the biggest motivators for Apex Legends players is to improve. And just like any physical sport or skill, identifying your weaknesses is a great way to do that. However, it can be hard to know what your weakness is and therefore what to improve. Today, we're looking at the biggest reasons why players are stuck in Apex. Perhaps you'll be able to use this to work out where you can improve. But first, our question of the day. If you could buff one legend in Apex and nerf one legend in Apex, who would it be and why? Let us know in the comment section below. Number 1. InGame Aim. One of the biggest reasons why players are stuck in Apex is their aim. This game can be incredibly difficult if you struggle to hit your shots, especially if your aim is weaker than your opponent's. Naturally, aim is something that does improve over time with practice, but this isn't overnight and players tend to want to see faster results. Luckily, there are more targeted ways to improve your aim than just playing. One of the best ways to improve your aim in Apex is to learn the recoil patterns of weapons. Guns like the Flatline have a specific recoil pattern that can be countered to keep a clean shot. If you don't control the recoil of a weapon, your tracking and actual aim can be as good as you like, but you'll miss a lot of shots. Even guns like the R301 have some recoil that learning to control will help. Make sure you practice with all the scopes, as the different levels of zoom makes the recoil feel more aggressive. You could also use an aim training program such as Aim Labs to work on the specific skills. Aim Labs has a wide range of scenarios and lets you both identify and then work on your weaknesses in your own game. It is important to keep a balanced approach though. You can absolutely be posting high scores in aim trainers, but still have average aim if you don't control recoil and work on a balanced aim rather than just getting really good at one task, such as grid shot. But it is absolutely undeniable that the better your aim, the further you'll go in Apex. Even if you end up in some very sticky situations, top quality aim can really be a get out of jail free card. Plus, knowing you have a strong aim really does provide confidence during the game. Confident players tend to play better. Do you need help advancing to the next level in Apex? Tired of being stuck in the lower ranks? ProGuides has expert Apex Predator coaches on deck to advance your gameplay. They can help spot flaws, give you detailed knowledge, and direct you on how to best spend your time to take your Apex ability to the next level. ProGuides is your one-stop shop for all things Apex Legends. As well as high-quality coaches, there are in-game tips, tricks, and guides suitable for any level of player. So, whatever your gameplay needs, we've got you covered. Why not sit down with an Apex Predator and get their input on how you can become the carry on your team in Apex? With their help, you'll be climbing the ranks in no time, no matter who you're teamed with. Check out the link in the description, and let's go! Number 2. Teamwork. For a team game, teamwork in Apex can really be lacking, and this is usually because of 2 reasons. So, let's break them down. Number 1 is that some players just love to do their own thing. They don't stick with their team, they run off, push people solo, and generally play their own game. Sure, you might be a strong player and you're able to 1v2 or 1v3, but as you climb the ranks, it's really difficult to stake a straight up 1v3 against a coordinated team who are communicating together and playing seriously. Now, maybe you think that pushing a team alone will encourage or force your teammates to fight with you, but often, and especially in ranked, they realize what the situation is and back off to save RP losses, leaving you to die alone. The other way that people struggle with teamwork is that they just don't have a coordinated team. This could be because they're a solo queue player without any regular teammates, and possibly they don't have a microphone. Communication is such a bonus in Apex Legends, and Apex is a really busy game and there can be a lot going on. Yeah, sure, there's a good ping system, but it cannot replace live comms from a team. Little comments like swinging left or let's push this, there's a team over there, and they're so much more powerful live and not done through pings. Now, it's hard to say, yo, you're stuck because you have no friends to play with and honestly, you just gotta get good. Because it's not possible to always have teammates to grind when you want to. But if you're going to solo queue, then you absolutely should be using a microphone wherever possible and leading your team. Chances you'll run into some players that are also doing the same. Why not ask them if you can partner up for a few games? Even if they aren't using a mic, by taking crucial leadership positions and communicating, they'll be a lot more likely to follow you, work with you, and play as a team. Communicating like this will absolutely help you improve. It'll make you develop team play and communication skills. If you watch any of the ALGS events or even high-level ranked, one of the biggest standouts is the level of communication between players. And I'll tell you what, it really does make a difference. Number 3, when to fight. It can be very tempting in Apex Legends to take every fight, run it down, and try to achieve high kills and high damage games. However, you're probably finding yourself getting thirded or gatekept a lot of the time if you do this. Especially in ranked where making the final few teams is the overall goal, this will really hold you back. Gatekept means someone is literally keeping you out of where the next zone is. So, knowing when to fight and when not to fight is a really hard skill. It is, of course, absolutely a unique calculation for every situation you face, and it gets better with experience, but only if you're consciously reflecting on your decisions rather than just aping everything within sight at all times. But let's look at this a bit more broadly. When don't you want to fight? This is the hardest skill for a lot of players, understanding when you shouldn't take the fight. Now, usually it's because of the threat of a third party. If you know a team is nearby, then it's very predictable that they will third party you and clean up the fight if you take it. It could be that you also know you need to go to zone. In later games, if fights take too long, teams can be caught out of zone. Now, this could be taking lots of zone damage or dying, or it could be that you're getting held out by a team and you can't do anything about it because you're being chased by the zone. Now, you could actually see two teams fighting just before the zone moves, and instead of piling in and getting involved, set up to be the ones to get them kept out for some nice easy kills as stragglers race away from the moving zone. Another common situation I can explain that happens in a lot of endgames is taking a different fight. If there are 4 teams in the final zone and you notice 2 are fighting, the instinct to dive in and third it, right? It's an easy cleanup, but this guarantees a win for the 4th team. Now, while the other 2 teams are distracted/busy, you could actually take the fight on the 4th team instead. You can't be thirded because they're busy, and if you win your fight, you're in a clean 2-way fight for the win. Now, if you wait out the fight and let them reset, you'll end up with 3 teams left and might be the unlucky team that gets focused. Of course, these are extremely broad examples, and you can't always have the information you need to rely on in a certain rule. But broadly, you need to think of a couple steps ahead. Where is zone and how will we get there? Do we have the equipment or heals to fight? How many teams are nearby and could we get thirded? How many teams are left? If you keep all these questions in mind, you should be able to review and evaluate most situations decently and try to make smarter decisions and avoid winning a fight, but not getting any awards from the new RP system. Now, admittedly, there are a lot of reasons why people can be stuck in Apex, and everyone is on their own journey and has their own weaknesses. However, these are some of the most catch-all common areas for improvement that players tend to have. Let us know where you're trying to improve this season. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon for more ProGuides Apex Legends content.